it's Shadow the Rat, and in this video I thought I would go over some of the more common behaviors that happy or content rats show. Now this is by no means an all-exhaustive list. Rats are very much their own individuals, and I can't, speak for all of them. However, these are some signs that I have commonly noticed in my girls when they seem very content and happy, so I thought I would share it with the rest of you. Now, first off the bat, I will say that sometimes it can be a little hard to tell if your rats are happy and comfortable. However, like I was saying, there are several signs that seem to be pretty universal across happy rats. Now, some signs that you can look for are things like brooksing and boggling. Brooksing is when your rat grinds their teeth back and forth together, and you will hear a very clear chattering noise. And boggling, on the other hand, is when your rat brookses so hard that their eyes begin to pop in and out, and this is just because their jaw muscle is connected to their eyes as well. So when they brooks really hard, they're going to boggle. Now, both brooksing and boggling are very contextually based things, as in if your rat is feeling angry or nervous, or if they're just, in a situation they're not very comfortable with, then they might also exhibit these behaviors. Now, while brooksing usually does sound a little different in these situations, usually I find it's a more sharp noise if the rats are unhappy, and more of a calm chittering if they are. However, you really need to look for other clues as well, like the rat's body language will probably tell you the most. If they're poofy, then it's probably not happiness, but if they're calm and just sitting still, then it most likely is. So some other behaviors you can look for are hopping, which is when the rat jumps up and down. Usually they're carrying an item when they do this, and they just look like they hop from one space to the next over and over. You'll see some clips of this down the line, and it's just hilarious to watch them do it. Another thing you can look for is popcorning. This is basically when the rat just gets so excited they can't contain themselves and they start jumping around wildly, and then they'll usually run around and then come back to you and run around some more, and it's just also something that's totally insane looking. Other signs you can look for are things like tail wagging, which is when the rat, wags their tail back and forth. However, this can also be a sign of anger or discomfort again, so you really need to look for other body cues. I find that when my girls are relaxing, sometimes they'll wag their tail, and also sometimes when they're playing, so it can definitely be a sign of excitement or contentment in those cases as well. Finally, something like grooming can also be a sign of contentment. Now again, just like with the other cues, it can also be a sign of things like being very nervous. A rat that's very nervous will groom a lot, presumably in a self-comforting way, but a rat that is happy will also feel safe enough to groom, so if you see relaxed body language, usually a groom is a good sign. So you might be saying, okay, after all of this, most of these are pretty contextual. Is there any way I can know for sure that my rat is feeling pretty comfortable? And I'd say the best way to tell that your rat is feeling pretty comfortable in an area is that if you hand them a treat, they will take it and eat it on the spot. Because I find that when my girls feel very safe, they're happy eating treats. Usually it can be of a larger size, like a whole Gerber puff instead of just a little part, and they'll happily just sit right there on the floor and eat it. But if they're feeling nervous, or if they're feeling scared or angry or anything like that, then they're not going to eat the treat because they just have other things they want to deal with first. So I'd say if your rat takes a treat and then eats it on the spot, most likely you can definitely say that you're dealing with a content rat, or at least a rat that's feeling pretty stable and safe in their environment. Okay, now I thought I would show you some clips of my girls performing these behaviors that I have recorded, because this way you can see firsthand what I mean by some of the things I described. Now, I will also have some things in here that I did not describe, and again, as I said, this is not an all-inclusive list. Your rat might do something different when they're happy, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys to enjoy the video clips. Some of these have sound, so I'm not going to talk through them. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!